Hey, what's up guys? Ryan here from Extreme Terrain. Today I'll be reviewing and installing the Red Rock 4x4 Rock Crawler front bumper fitting your 2018 and up Jeep Wrangler JL. It's going to be for the JL owner that's looking to ditch that factory plastic front bumper for some serious front end tubular protection. This is a great upgrade for the off-roading enthusiast that's looking to maintain that flare-to-flare protection while gaining some serious clearance. This bumper is going to provide plenty of protection in the middle with its heavy-duty steel plating where it counts, and you're going to get that flare-to-flare protection on the ends with its reinforced tubing. Brush guard is going to keep your grille safe from those trail hazards, and it even has tabs up top to mount some additional lighting. This bumper comes complete with D-rings, and it even allows the addition of a winch. This bumper is made from heavy-duty steel plating and tubing, and it's finished off with an aggressive textured black powder coating. It's going to add to those rugged good looks of your Jeep. It's going to be the most affordable option of its kind on the site, and Red Rock makes a very affordable protective front bumper at just around $350. Now, as far as installation goes, I'm going to give this a very easy 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, as you can get this thing installed in under 2 hours just using basic hand tools. Now, with that being said, let's hop into the install. Tools that we use for this install: flathead screwdriver, 3/8 drive ratchet, 1/4 inch drive ratchet, socket extension, 18mm socket, 16mm socket, 8mm socket. So the first thing we're going to do to kick off this installation is start with the disassembly. We need to get this factory bumper off. This is relatively easy to do, and the first thing we're going to do is go underneath and get that splash shield off. So we're going to grab some tools, get on our creeper, slide under there, and get started. So now that we're under the Jeep, you can see these little push pins that are holding the front of the skid plate in. There's 8 of them. We'll need to take a flathead screwdriver or any kind of prying tool. We'll just need to get underneath of this section right there. We're going to pull the center out of here from the base, and then after that we can get underneath of it with the flathead and pull that whole clip out. So we'll just go across, get all those out, and then we have some screws to get out as well. So now, next we're going to get these screws out. So you have a screw here, you're going to have 1 on each side. You're going to use an 8mm socket to get those out. So after that, we're going to put a hand on our splash shield. We're going to take this last screw out, and then we can toss this aside. So next we're going to take off this plate right here. You're going to have 2 bolts, 1 on each side. We're going to use a 16mm socket to get that off. So after you get both of those bolts out, next what we're going to do is get this plate off. So it has 2 tabs holding it at the top. All we're going to do is just smack it up in the air, and we can pull it off and get rid of it. So the next thing we're going to do is disconnect our bumper from our frame. So we have 8 nuts to remove. We're going to start with these 2 inside studs. So you're going to have 4 nuts on each frame rail. We're going to do all 4 of the insides first, then we'll get the outsides off. So we're going to use an 18mm socket to get these nuts off. So now we're going to move to the outside of our frame rail, take these 2 nuts off. Now there is a cover normally here, but we took that off so you can see exactly what we're doing. Just use that 18 and get those nuts off. So there's one more thing that we have to do on this side before we move over to the other side. We have to disconnect our fog light plug. This is this gray plug right here. What you're going to do is press in on this tab right here. We're going to pull this section of this plug out. So now we're going to take these last 2 out on this side, but have no fear, the bumper is not going to fall off. There's still some push pins up top that we need to take out. go ahead and get both of these nuts off. So next thing we're gonna do is go up top. Like I said, we have 2 push pins, 1 on each frame rail. We're gonna use that same flathead screwdriver to pry out the center. Then we'll remove this and we can pull this whole bumper off. Next thing we're gonna do is grab one of these tow hooks, and then we're just gonna wiggle this bumper off. So we finally got that factory bumper in installed, and just before we get ready to install this new bumper from Red Rock, I want to take a moment just to compare the two and also talk about some of the benefits you're going to get with an aftermarket bumper such as this. Now let's talk about your factory bumper first. Factory bumper is a full width bumper, and it's going to give you that flare to flare protection. But in doing so, it is going to block that area in front of the wheels, which really isn't great for approach angles. The nice thing about this bumper right here is it's going to give you a ton of clearance in front of the wheels, but it's also going to provide protection all the way to the end of the flares. It provides a ton of protection in the middle. This is going to be great for pushing brush out of the way or anything that you come across on the trails. Now, as far as construction, with this bumper, you're getting a heavy-duty steel bumper made from steel plating and steel tubing. It's fully welded together, making it a very strong unit. And you can't really see it, but on the ends here, this tube is actually reinforced with another tube. And that's gonna make that even stronger and stiffen up that end. Now, your factory bumper is made of plastic. This is great for daily driving, playing around in the mud, and slight bumps and bruises. But if you're really trying to hit those heavy trails, do some really tough, rocky trails, then you want something that's a little stronger and a little more functional. Your factory bumper does not fit a winch, and one of the nice things and one of the benefits of having a bumper such as this is you do get to install a winch. It says a winch plate in the middle. This winch plate is welded in, and this is going to allow you to run a variety of winches up to 12,000 pounds. It even has a built-in fair lead mount, and that's going to just add to the whole strength of this because that whole centerpiece is one solid chunk of steel. Now, your factory bumper has tow hooks, and while this is a great towing point, if you're using a rope or a strap, these have the tendency to slip out of there. The nice thing about this is it's going to give you D-ring mounts. It's also going to give you D-rings as well, and that way you can lock that rope in or that strap in, and it doesn't have the chance to come out while you're tugging someone out of a bad situation or you're being tugged out of a bad situation. This bumper is going to not only change up the look of your Jeep and separate you from the rest of them, but it's also going to add a very aggressive styling, and it's going to add a ton of functionality. The next thing I want to talk about is the fog lights. Now, ditching that factory bumper, you are losing those fog lights, which is kind of a bad situation, but this brand new bumper has a couple mounts that's going to allow you some additional lighting. It has 2 tabs up here on top of the overrider hoop, and then it also has 2 spots right here, which you could theoretically mount additional lighting. So that's a total of 4 lights, and that's going to be a huge difference in low light visibility when you're riding through those dark trails. Now, this bumper has a very unique design, and it has a very tall design as well. So it's going to give you a ton of clearance underneath where you really need it and on the sides, but it's going to rise up high, and it's going to protect that grille, going to keep that front end really safe when you're pushing through brush and whatever you come across on the trails. This design is completely bolt-on, and we don't really have anything to attach to it. So with that being said, let's show you how this gets installed and what it looks like on the Jeep. So at this point in time, we're ready to install this bumper. You want to stage all that hardware, and this is a pretty big and heavy item. So I'm going to get my friend Andrew here to help me get this on. Then we'll climb under there and get this hardware installed. So while we're up here, we're going to install some of the hardware. So you have 8 studs total. Each of them is going to get a flat washer, a lock washer, and a nut. So we're going to start with these 2 on both of the insides. They're pretty easy to reach from the top, so we'll get these installed first. So while we're up here, after we get all this hardware installed, we might as well just tighten everything up. We're going to use a 16mm socket to tighten up all these inside nuts. So next thing we're going to do is crawl under the Jeep, and we're going to install these ones on the ends. Now you have 2 studs in here. I know they're really hard to see, but I swear that they're there. And then we're gonna do the same thing. Each one's gonna get a flat washer, a lock washer, and then a nut. So to get all of this hardware installed, we're gonna go ahead and tighten that up. Same thing, 16mm socket on an extension. I'll do the same thing on the other side. One thing to note, when you're tightening these up, try not to bang the wrench against the powder coat too much because you might chip it, and this can cause rust. So that's going to wrap up my review and install. For more videos and products like this, check us out at extremeterrain.com.